Hello everyone. Today we're going to paint a curved brick arch wall that I've been building for John's layout. Behind you can see the brick arch wall in its raw plaster form. I have some tissue that I use to dry the paints. Here I have some acrylic paints, the first one being dark grey, the second being black, burnt sienna, dark forest green, last but not least, white. Below I have written out the instructions on the order I did things and the way I mixed the paint. So this is so I can repeat the process. Here I have a bit of old retaining wall that I've used to practice on to get the colours correct and to get my technique correct. Below I have 4 brushes. The first is used to paint on the base coat. It's about a 25mm brush. The second is the toothbrush, which I use to scrub the paint as I'm painting it on. This is so I can get it thinner in places and to allow the texture of the bricks to come through. The next one I use is the number 4 flat brush, which I'll use to dab on the various colours. I have a number 2 round brush, which I use to wash on the black paint as the final coat. And that's the very time-consuming process. Over here I have a white card, which I have some colour patches on. This is so that I can repeat mixing the colours at any time, and I know that I've got them fairly close. It's not critical, but it's nice to be able to repeat the process. And last, I've got a hairdryer. This is used to speed up the process if paint has taken a little while to dry. What is most important is that you should dry the first coat of paint before painting the second. So let's get started. Alright everyone, this is the first coat. I've got the colour right as to my colour chart. I'm now wiping the brush fairly dry and then just painting it on very quickly, swirling the brush around, scrubbing it in, just trying to get that initial colour, and then before it dries, stop, get your toothbrush and just rub it in a bit, just to lighten the areas up. See that this initial coat is going to go fairly quickly. I hope everyone can see what we're doing, so I'll just carry on. So here we go again. Bit of scrubbing just to get that sort of really light look. Well, here we are folks, this is the first coat of light grey. It took me about 10 minutes to paint on and scrub in. I'll just give you a quick look and you can notice that there's patchy in places. Don't worry about that, the idea is not to have it too even so that we get that variation in colour that's natural in stone. I now slope the work at about 45 degrees. This is where I'm going to dab on all the individual colours and allow it to run down the wall slightly so that I don't get any solid lines. The first coat after the light grey is going to be white, which has been thinned out to a very light wash so that it will simulate the salt coming through the bricks. So here we go. The size of the flat brush is about the size of a brick, so you just start dabbing it on and you let it run down through the bricks. Now, you see what I'm doing? Now you just do this over the entire wall, and as you go, just dab it dry with a tissue, and you'll see it takes off some of that emphasis of the white. As you can see, I'm painting outside. The reason for this is so that I can easily match the colours and I've got good light to paint in. It doesn't take long and all you're doing is building up the colour. And here we've got a show of all the white that's now complete, representing the salt in the walls. The third colour we're going to put on is called burnt sienna. All we're doing is building up the colours, as you'll notice. This is a full shot showing the 3 colours, light grey, white and burnt sienna. The fourth colour we're going to use is dark forest green, and again just dab it on the same way as you've been doing all the other colours, and make sure that it's a nice wash. As you can see, it's runny. And then we can dab it dry with a nice tissue, and we're just building up the colours. Here we have a close-up of the four colours: light grey, white, burnt sienna and dark forest green. So you can see the combination building up. And now on to the fifth colour, which is a dark grey. And again we're just dabbing it on, building up those colours. This is the easy part of the painting. Now we have the difficult part, which is the final coat of black. Now this is a very thin wash. To assist us, I've actually turned the wall upside down as a feature, so you're getting these natural looking shadows. You just dab into the corners of the joins and you'll notice that the paint will run. Get a bit more there. You can see it even runs uphill. And you'll notice that I'm just dabbing very, very lightly. As we go across the bricks, you just dab it very lightly. If you start in the corners, you get the majority of the paint running down for you. And what this black is doing is giving definition to the bricks. It makes them, as much as they've got a 3D feel and pattern about them, getting the black in the joins will actually make them stand out quite well. It's all starting to run in quite nicely, and the brickwork is starting to stand out. The way we're painting, you'll actually get more black on the bottom side of the brick, so when it's in the proper position it'll look darker on the bottom side. Here we have the finished product. It took me 7 hours to do all the black. So now all we have to do is insert it on the layout. Right. It's coming good. Instant ball, that's what I like. Excellent, well done, John.
Thanks, Ross.
Okay, here we've got an aerial view of the completed wall, glued in place. I'll just do a quick shot around. As you can see, a lot of this wall is really hidden, except for nice little views. So here we've just got a view where you can see the arches disappearing behind the roundhouse. I hope you enjoy it.